Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Angie, and in this video I'll show you how I made some easy Christmas ornaments. For the first one, I'm using a clear ornament from Dollar Tree and a small Tart tin. I started by placing the Tart tin on the ornament front and drawing a line around it. I then used an X-Acto knife and a pair of scissors to cut just inside of the marked line. You want the hole to be slightly smaller than the tin so it doesn't fall into the ornament. Next, I added glue around the cut edge and placed the Tart tin into it. When the glue was dry, I used some molds and air dry clay to decorate around the tin. When the clay was dry, I gave the entire thing a coat of chalk paint to act as a primer. Next, I painted the ornament gold. The paint I used was old and dried out a bit, but instead of thinning it out, I just used a brush and gave it a textured finish on the ornament. I then painted all the clay details. I used gold rub and buff to highlight the clay. For the center of the ornament, I used a scalloped paper punch and cut out a picture and decoupaged it to the tin. When the image was dry, I used a glossy sealer over it. To finish it, I used gold glitter glue on the edge of the tin and around the image and then added a ribbon hanger. For the next project, I'm using air dry clay and a clay roller. I started by rolling out the clay to about 1/8 to 1/4 inch thick and then using a textured roller over the clay. I then used a cookie cutter to cut out a shape and used a clay tool to poke a hole at the top. I also used a rubber stamp for this design. I then rolled out more of the clay and used some clay alphabet stamps and some small cookie cutters for this. I found this alphabet set in the clay section at Hobby Lobby, and this was the first time I used it. I will have to say I wasn't too fond of it. After I had all the pieces cut out, I set them on a paper towel and then put them on a cooling rack to dry overnight. Once they were dry, I used an emery board and sanded any rough edges. I then gave them all a coat of metallic paint. When the paint was dry, I used gold rub and buff to highlight the details. Next, I used a piece of wire to make a hanger and to attach the smaller clay piece to the larger one, and then added a ribbon hanger. For the last project, I'm using some twine, silicone molds, and hot glue to make a garland of sorts. I started by making a loop at the end of the twine and then filling the mold with hot glue and placing the twine into the glue. Since my garland will be seen from both sides, I went ahead and made some small elements to add to the back side. I then continued adding the pieces every 4 to 5 inches or so until it reached the length that I wanted. After I made the first medallion, I just ended up using this mold for the rest of them because I liked how they looked like wax seals. To finish it, I gave the glue a coat of gold paint. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed these projects, and I'll see you in the next video.